and bang this morning. It's about 3 a.m. and we've got a 20 to 30 mile an hour west wind today. It's already cold and windy, so I am going in where I saw this buck. He's been locked down with a doe the last 2 times I've seen him. So I'm getting right in the middle of where he's at. Got a west wind, so I'm getting on the downwind side of where I've been seeing him, but it's early. I'm hoping I don't bump him, but I've got about, I don't know, 300 pounds of gear to pull in. Got all my clothes. It's gonna be an eventful morning, so gonna get in there, get a set hung, sit all day. The sun's finally coming up and I can warm up. I'm in a brand new set. I started at 2 a.m. this morning. About 100 yards further down the hill is where I've been sitting this week. It's my 5th or 6th day, all day sits. There's been 2 different days that a big buck's been right on this hillside, so snuck in here early this morning, got everything hung. Couldn't go more smooth, so we've got 20 to 30 mile an hour west winds blowing out across this pasture, and the deer are working this hillside pinch point between me and the creek. Perfect setup. I brought plenty of food, so I'm in here for the long haul. shot the biggest buck of my life, though. I think I f***ed it up. My hand's shaking so bad. I think I'm too high. I have been sitting here for 7 days. 7 all-day sets. And I just had them at 45 yards. The wind was starting to swirl. The doe went running back up out of the creek. Oh, come on. I can't even press the buttons. I'm shaking so bad. Oh, God, come on. I just want to cry. I blew it. I just blew it. Too high. After reviewing all that and sending it to all the other Team Radical guys, it's confirmation I'm an idiot. I blew it. I don't deserve him. You only get one chance like that a season, and I didn't make it happen. My only hopes is the direction he ran. I'm going to circle the property and get another stand over there that's good with a southwest wind and sit there the rest of the day. Tomorrow's gun season, so chances are he's going to live to see another day, and somebody else is going to get an opportunity. I don't think I've ever messed up that bad. I'm gonna get down and move. Alright, it's opening morning of gun season, and just climbed up, and the buck Justin happened to shoot last night with his bow is out here in this grass patch. He's at 150 yards right now. I don't quite have a shot yet, but he's coming across the grass on this lane, and he's going to be directly downwind, so when it happens, it's going to have to happen pretty quick here. So stay tuned, baby. Just shot him. He dropped like a sack of taters. So I stuck another one in him. Looked like he jarred off to He should be down right there. Call Justin and let's go get this big boy. But I gotta wait for him because, like I said, he's had all the encounters and this and that. He just didn't happen to have that county's gun tag today, and I did. So he's like, go in there and finish the story, man. So, BBD. You know, I haven't gun hunted in years, but my wife happens to work with Browning quite a bit. And she's always telling me, if the trigger is cold, the deer will fold. She's not wrong today. Oh, God. Booner's down. Steve just called and finished him off. He had to do the dirty work for me, so my #1 hit lister I've been after all season finally got my chance yesterday and made a terrible shot. I moved to a different stand last night and I actually saw him again, and he was not hurt. Would not leave that doe either. So today's Friday of first gun season here in Illinois, and I don't have a gun permit for that county, but my partner Steve does. So we drew up a game plan last night, told him what stand he needs to go to, all the information, everything he needed. Very first deer he sees this morning is the big one, so. Hopefully I can just go to his house and look at him on his wall or something. Maybe he'll let me come over and visit. I brought my all-day lunch. Brought all the snacks you can think of. Coffee, soda, energy drinks. Like 4 fun packs of candy bars. Jerky, all kinds of stuff. Now I just gotta sit here and drink my coffee. Wait for Justin. Dropped him right in his tracks. Look at this. All these things are bad. Eating some of the seed here, pollen, but here he is, getting stiff already. But came in here this morning for gun season. Justin sent me in here, telling me exactly pretty much where to go. He had a good encounter with him last night and maybe made a pretty bad shot on him, but he was here this morning and got my stand at daylight, and there he was, just sitting there waiting on me. So pretty sweet. He was probably our #1 hit lister deer. Pretty busted up compared to some of his pictures, you know, in velvet from earlier this year. I know this main beam came way out and had a big old tine there as well. Broke off. He had this same inside point here. Broke that one off. But yeah. Well, I don't really know where to start exactly with this deer, but it was definitely our #1 hit lister this year. We've had pictures of him the last 3 years. We've never given him a name. We're not good with that, but basically the last 7 days I've been sitting all day sits, just going as hard as I could before gun season, knowing this is a small 40-acre property, and if I don't get him the week before gun season, a gun hunter will. So
yeah, that guy.
Steve's been hunting a different property. We kind of split up this year. He had 2 shooters on one property, and there's 2 different shooters on this one. So we kind of split ways and just, you know, have grinded hard all of October and November so far to really focus on the bucks that we've been chasing. And I've only saw him one time chasing does really hard, running 100 miles an hour, and that was it. And then 4 or 5 days passed, and it was yesterday morning or midday, finally had an encounter with him, and I just messed up the shot. 45 yards, I just hit him high, and it's just the inevitable. I've never, we've talked about this all last night, I've never not recovered a buck. until the largest one I've ever shot, largest buck we've ever chased. There's no.
But he's recovered now.
There's no excuses. I just didn't pull off the shot. It was an incredible hunt. Put in the time and effort for him, but come down to gun season. Today being Friday, I don't have a gun permit for this county, so Steve and I basically flip-flopped farms. I gave him all the information I know. This is where he was. I saw him last night. Just everything about it. He should be in there. He's locked down on a doe. I'd rather Steve kill him than the neighbors or anybody else. Steve deserves him just as much as I do. He's been grinding just as hard as I have on the other farms. So
yeah, definitely, and pretty much all the intel was point on. I was not to the top of my stand yet, and I could silhouette him out here in the field, just waiting on daylight. The time I got to the top of my tree and got the camera arm on and starting to get everything ready, I could see him 100%. He was out here, and he's out about 100 to 125 yards at that point. And I was just waiting on daylight for camera light, and it's like, oh, there he is. I heard a couple other gunshots already. I'm like, it's legal time, but I need a little more camera light. So I just kept waiting him out, and he stood out here at this doe, and they were actually dead downwind at that point in time. They were kept nose checking up in the air, and finally I said, here we go. And I took him right in the spine. I didn't want a far track job, But it actually got a hole right behind the shoulder where we wanted as well. Once he dropped, I took a second shot, and it was dead accurate. So no time at all, and he was down.
It's I don't know how to put it into words, but it's another huge mature buck, only 40-acre piece. 3 years ago, when we both decided we're not even going to chase him, he just looks like a 3 or 4 year old. He's just as loaded as he is now, but he just looked young and spindly. Let's give him time, and
it paid off.
We really didn't think he'd make it through. Well, and he made it through that season. He made it through the next season. This is the 3rd year chasing him, so
yep.
He is a giant, and it's been well earned.
Yeah, I'd like to see who he's messing with to be that busted up out there. We know there's that other good shooter on this property as well, but he's really busted up compared to when we first got some of the first pictures of him. But the other one makes it one more year, he'll be just as big or bigger.
Right. Right.
He's a good one. Persistence.
Congrats.
Thank you.
If you don't mind, I'll just have to come down to your house and look at him on the wall.
Well, you can go shoot my buck. I got some good video for you of him for when you finalize that hunt, I guess, now.
We've got a buck tag filled.
Yep.
Start focusing on the rest of them.
Now the fun part begins.
When it comes to spring or fall food plots, your bedding grasses, your mineral, your access and exit screen, and your upland game mixes, Real World Wildlife Products has you covered. It's not about a fancy bag. It's about actual seed and proven results.